Okay. This is Roger, Mudfossil University, today with recommendation to go and see this video by Greg Braden Friends series, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Enhancing Your Immune System. I watched it and it is very good. Now, I think I have a little to add to it to show some of the actual autopsy results and so forth of COVID, which is another situation where the specific bacteria that controls the specific type of collagen, and there are many types of collagens, and this particular one, see, there's a type 1 has this right here, vasculature and organs. This is the part that is getting damaged. Now, there must be something different because tendons are a little different than the organ types and bone and so forth. Now, something is attacking that exact type of collagen. And I'm going to demonstrate it because I did a lot of work on this for many years. So it's not something I'm really doing a lot of guessing at, a little bit here and there, but you see what you think. Here it goes. Now, but you should go up there and watch that video by Greg Braden Official. It's the channel, and that's it. Dr. Bruce Lipton, Enhancing Your Immune System. I was quite taken with it, so see what you get out of it. And I have a little to add here and there, which is now you're going to see my part of it. Okay, like I say, I do a lot of different types of research, and one of them is light, and I was looking into how light is captured and how they can see biology with the light and not destroy the cells. And they have a new process with a sweeping, very, very light swish back and forth where they can pick up and understand exactly what's going on in real time. Now, this is Go Call. And he's, boy, I'm not sure which university he's with, but this is the Seeker channel. And this is your textbooks are wrong. They're wrong. And they're wrong about a lot of stuff. This is just one. And these are what cells really do. Now, they have been guessing
the hair
right
on
along.
My hands just stood up. It's a microscopic universe within each cell.
This is an unprecedented view of the cellular world, where we can actually see immune cells scooping up sugars in the ear of a zebrafish in real time.
Focusing only on the crawling immune cells, we've noticed two classes of them. One was not hungry at all, but it was very active in terms of trying to figure out, what the environment is. There was another one that was kind of sloshing around with a lot of food in its belly. We can actually conceptualize and visualize and analyze the contents of each of these cellular compartments in this crawling immune cell as it's kind of, scooping up its environment. I mean, that is a level of details no one's seen before.
We're living in a new era.
Okay, I want to go through this again because what he's saying is very, very accurate, only I have a little bit to add, I think. Now, this is what's all these little cellular structures. Now he's going to go deep inside and look inside the cellular structures. All right, so here we go.
This is an unprecedented view of
No, this never seen before, unprecedented. Now, what are we looking at? That is an immune cell. And what is an immune cell? It's a white blood cell. It's a type of cell that is immune. It carries immune responses. Think of it that way. It's a immune cell. Now, they're going to show something being scooped up in here. He's going to say it's food in its belly. I say it's mucus. And the thing has all kind of this blue mucus you're going to see laying around here just waiting to be harvested when it's necessary. Because you can squirt out mucus just like that. And this is real time. This isn't sped up. Watch.
the cellular world.
See, that's the one that he's running around grabbing up all these little mucus jobbers, grabbing and just shoot out and squirt them on top of the thing that's trying to invade.
Can actually see immune cells scooping up sugars in the ear of a zebrafish in real time.
See, it's going right out there to do the job. Now, I would say that's more than likely mucus. Now, they're saying sugars, maybe, but they just discovered this, so I don't think they really know exactly what's going on yet at all. Although we can see that there's one that sniffs, there's one that creates stuff like this, and then I believe there's another one that creates a bomb. So in other words, there's mucus to create the slime, and that keeps the invaders from being able to even penetrate. And that's toxins and wastes and so forth. And then you have other ones that have active chemistry that goes out to attack an invader. And those have to be, the sniffer comes back and says, hey, we got a problem. So what's the matter? We got a zinc molecule over here that's coming in, and that is attaching to and it's killing So I need you to make a chemistry set to go out and destroy that particular molecule. And it does. It goes out, slam. It attaches like into these spikes. Zip, it just goes right in there. It squirts its little goo in there. Case is closed. Now, this is all new, so we need to start over and really research. Now, everything I present seems to be dismissed with sort of kind of nasty dismissals. Not, they are demeaning. And I'm presenting evidence. Literally everything I do is evidence. It's not just, and you're going to see, I'm showing you evidence of what I'm talking about right now. So what we need to do is stop and think about these things a little more. The things have changed now. We have these capabilities, these lasers and lights and things that we never had before. And the understanding that the Bohr model is wrong because of the particles that have been detected absolutely do not fit. And there's nothing that fit in the Bohr model for 50 years. This is what I did. This is where I live. I live in the chemistry realm. I live in the physics, nuclear realm. I love it. And I understand pretty well that the Bohr model didn't work, and everybody knows it now. It's not any mystery. They're just trying to figure out what to do. And I know what to do, and it's called electron flood theory. So I'm going to leave that for another day. Let's just continue. Now, I think I'm going to mention this. I'm not sure. This is the collegen. This is the pinkish looking stuff. And that is just like fibery, rubbery, it moves and it squishes in these watery bags, fluid-filled bags. That's the key. This is where your immune system is. These are loaded with bacteria, and wherever they are in the body, if they're in the nose, you probably got a lot of mucosa type bacteria that creates mucus, and it goes into the mucosa to keep the stuff out from invading into you. If it's in your intestines, you got a lot of mucosa. There's a lot of mucosa everywhere in your body, and mucus is the product of the bacteria that keeps you separated, slimes it basically. Let's just go with that. Now, what is this brown thing? What is that? And that little black ball, what's that all about? Well, here's what it's about. That's an anchor. It's like a rivet. And it says, okay, well, what's that all about? And it says, well, you're going to have to move around. You're going to have to shake and jump and twist, and you're going to do all kind of things. So when you do, this has to give and take and move and squish and pull and so forth. So the fluid-filled bag is just like can squish and move and go flat and pull this way and that way. That's fine. This is a spring. That brown thing is a spring. This thing doesn't care where it goes. The collegen, it's okay flopping around anywhere. But this wants to be always in that shape. Whatever shape you see there. Now, if I pull it this way, it goes, and when I stop pulling, it goes, blink, it pops back up, and everything goes back to where it's supposed to be. That is what these, they call them, I don't know, I guess it's the CD34 positive lining cells. I don't know what. It's two different types of collagen. So there's a whole batch of different collagens. There's only, I think, like 28 of them. But there's a couple that are down in this range. I think it's 1 and 3 are the ones that we would be most interested in. And this is what is breaking right here. The balls are still there. But these break, and then the fluid-filled stuff just goes everywhere, and you can't, the heart and the lungs stops doing that. It goes, and they break and they stay out there. And you try to fill the thing with oxygen. You can only pump so much oxygen. You still have to go, you got to be able to pull it in and push it out, and pull it in and push it out. And that is what gives you the ability to breathe. When these break, there's no return to normalcy. There's a break, and I'll show you right now. Maybe I already did show you, but I will show you right now. And here it is. Now, this was the video that I did, and this was done, and I'm surprised they didn't take it down, but I did it for a discussion for doctors. And here's what it is. I won't go through the video anymore, but there's the balls, and the straps, they're gone. They're all broken. They should have been, just like I showed you a second ago. They should all be weaved in here in a nice, but it's shot. Now, the sponge effect is totally shot. Now, I have a microscope here, and I have some stuff I'm going to be looking at a microscope. And the most perfect thing I can show to show what interstitial is my belt. All right? Watch up here. I'm going to home in on this. Focus it. Hold on. Let me get it up here. And I'm going to turn the light up so you can see it well. Hold on. I was thinking to myself, what am I going to show you to make my case? All right, here it is. This is interstitial on my belt. All right, and you look at it and you say, how can you tell me that's interstitial? And I say, there's all kinds of little balls and these fibers running. You say, well, it's not so much fibers. I say, I tell you what, where do you see where the belt buckle goes through? There it is right there. There's all the fibers. Nobody put those in there, sewed them in there. That's what happens to these balls. You see the balls? They have fibers running on them. Nobody sewed that in there. This is genuine rawhide or cowhide or whatever it is. I can show you right on the back of it. So, that is interstitial. You start snapping all these things, the belt's going to fall apart. That's what holds everything together and brings everything back to where it's supposed to be. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I'm a simple guy. Everything I want to show, I need some extremely serious validating support to claim it. I don't claim things just out of willy-nilly. But you see, if you back out of there where you can see the fibers all stretched out, you get out here and it goes, oh, that's nothing, that's nothing. Well, it is something, but maybe you wouldn't see it as something because you just wouldn't see it. But you can't miss it when you go to the belt buckle. No. And that is the stuff we're talking about here. It should have all these fibers. The fibers are gone. They're broken. Shot. That's the issue. Okay, my wonderful friends, this is Roger Spur at Mudfossil University again, and I am going back to last year, April of 2020, and I did a video for doctors to discuss what actually the COVID was doing to the tissues, and it didn't get a whole lot of responses. But it's pretty good, I think, because this is exactly what's happening. Now, this was originally, I believe, the only COVID autopsies that were done at that time. Now, I don't know how I got into doing this at this particular time, but let's just listen to it. This was done to alert doctors to what they should be looking for. Seriously. And it is exactly what they should have been looking for, and I don't know if they are or not, because I really didn't get a whole lot of responses, but here goes. Okay, my friends, this is a patient that died at Wuhan. And I'm going to just go over the statistics of what happened, because it goes 5 minutes of extreme details, and you should come up and watch it. It's called Coronavirus Autopsy Report Analysis by Dr. Mike, COVID-19 Autopsy. We're going to get into it deep of the actual autopsy pictures and so forth, but I'm going to explain to you what the whole deal is here. This patient was 50 years old. He went to Wuhan on the 12th of January, apparently. He started to get a dry cough on the 14th. He didn't go to a clinic until the 21st, and he had fevers and chills and shortness of breath and cough and so forth. They put him on oxygen and some drugs that they give him for, chest problems and so forth. Now, his white blood cell count was low. His lymphocytes were low. His AST was high, which is a liver thing. Now, on day 12 of what they consider his disease, his fever was okay, but everything else was getting worse. Now, they had him on 50% oxygen, 40 liters per minute, which is, pretty good. And his oxygen O2 rate was up at 95%. It was okay. And you want to be above 92, they say. So, all right, so I'm going to cut in on myself. This was a year ago, and they could get enough oxygen into him, but the fibers in his lungs were not responding, and in all of the vascular system. And what happened to this particular guy, apparently, in my mind, is his pulmonary system somewhere collapsed. That's the pulmonary system, is little blood vessels and arteries and veins and so forth, and they are also made from the same collagen, because it has to do this, boom, 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 boom. The lungs are boom, boom, boom. The heart, all these things that are rubber, and that's a lung. It's DNA certified Mudfossil lung. We're going to look at these in the microscope in a minute. I'm going to prove everything I'm saying, just to absolutely get off the case, because I did this for over 10 years. I was one of the first people to even think about fascia as anything other than what they used to call fuzz, and they used to thought it was like a padding, areolar tissue, or like a padding around things so that they didn't get bumped into, that type of thing. They thought it had no other value. Well, now it is literally your immune system. There is a very good chance that through the fascia, all of the nervous system is connected. That's something that really needs to be investigated. But anyway, let's get back to this. The guy died of a heart attack, but his heart was perfect. So what happened? The fibers in his heart couldn't do it. But his heart was healthy, but the fibers broke down. Watch. So on day 14, his oxygen rate started to go down. And then they put him on 100%, 40 milliliters, 100% oxygen, 40 milliliters per minute. But his oxygen rate still kept going down. O2 went down to 60%. So oxygen rate dropped to 60%, way too low. He had a heart attack. His heart couldn't hold up to try to move it, probably. Now, that's what I was thinking at the time, that his heart was overworked trying to push the blood through to get the oxygen. And that's possible, but it might have worked, except the same fibers that were destroyed in the lungs, which you will see in a second, are the same fibers that were destroyed in the heart. Now, was it the heart gave out, just couldn't work? No, I believe it was a blood clot, but I'm not positive of that. Here we go. Or whatever, his heart went bad. But the heart is not bad. The heart goes bad from can't handle the workload, I believe. Because when they did the biopsy, here's what they found, and I think it'll go through it in a minute. But his heart was okay. His liver had a problem, but they think it might have been the drugs they were trying to give him. I believe that's what, when you take a whole batch of drugs, your liver is the cleaner. Your liver is what the blood flows through, and it says, hey, give me all the toxins, I'll get rid of them. Well, you flood yourself with all kinds of drugs and antibiotics and all kind of things that your liver really is going to have a hard time dealing with, and they did find there was something wrong with his liver. And his lungs, that's where we're going to go to now. The lungs are the thing. Let's start right here and listen to what he has to say. This guy's fabulous. Yeah. All right, we're going to go right into the autopsy results. All right, this is Roger again, and I'm extremely sorry. I think I introduced myself about 5 times already. I do little chunks, and then I go do something else. I got about 5 different things going on at the same time. I get interrupted all the time, so this may be just a jumble of nonsense. But trust me, what I'm talking about is these interstitial balls, straps, and those little springs. They are what is being attacked, and that is a certain type of collagen. There's numbers attached to these collagens. The ones that are being attacked are the one specifically, I think, is the rubbery one that makes your lungs go like this and that, and all of your blood vessels, boom, 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 your heart, thump, 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 thump. They're the rubber ones, and then they're gone. they're gone. All you have is the walls left. So I hope that's made sense. And like I say, I got lost in the whole thing. So put it back together if you can, make sense of it. But it really does make sense. What happens is in those bags of water, as I showed before in the interstitium, if the bacteria isn't there, it can't respond. In comes the bad stuff and eats up into that collagen, and it's all over. All right, again, my friends, I may have already mentioned Greg Braden and Friends series, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Enhancing Your Immune System. Absolutely very, very good work. And I recommend you come up and watch this. And my stuff is just a little to add. Very nice presentation. I sort of don't have the quality videos these kind of guys have to present, but my evidence is pretty good. And to me, evidence is really what I'm looking for, is factual evidence. I like the look of it. It's very, very nice. And there's a lot of functional, excellent information in here. As far as I could tell, he's exactly right about the appendix, about the bacteria, about how it coats all these surfaces, the communities, the bacteria. I mean, I really didn't find anything to object about that I could think of, and that's pretty rare for me. So take it for what it's worth. Get yourself healthy. Make sure your immune system's right. If you have diarrhea or you're bound up in constipation, your stomach always irritating, giving you problems, you got an issue with your digestive system. That's my last word. You know, actually, that isn't my last word. My last word is that is what's called a pre-existing condition. Somewhere in your digestive system is not functioning correctly, so you're either being invaded or you're not getting the nutrition that you need from your food. It's one or the other. And both of those are just as bad. One of them will create cancers, stage 1, stage 2, 3, 4. That's invasive chemistry. You don't have the mucus and the wherewithal to keep things at bay. All right, and they break through to your cell walls in your and these are considered pre-existing conditions. And then when you get attacked by other things, they just walk right in. Just walk right into you. Now, if you and in this specific case of COVID, I believe it's related to this one specific type of collagen. I probably already said this. Again, I'm lost in this whole thing. But if it tears that collagen up, there is no coming back. Now, what about the long haulers? Are their collagens coming back? Do the springs work now? Or is it already damaged? Is it not going to be able to come back? I don't know. These are the things I have a whole ton of research, things that should be done, and I know exactly what I would do if I was in charge to do them. I would want to look at where the bacterial communities are. I'd want to look at the makeup, the chemistry of the springs versus the collagen versus I have a whole list of things. I could go all day long to talk about what should, I think, be done to do a real serious investigation. What the hell is wrong? Why are some people getting sick and other ones aren't? Why are some people dying and other ones don't die? Why is it the kids don't get it as bad as the adults? Why is it the pre-existing conditions, which I'm pretty much sure you see why now, get invaded? Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I should have left at my last word. I can never stop. But there's so much to talk about that isn't understood or is sort of sloughed off and, oh, yeah, have a nice day, and they just go about their life and never really consider the ramifications of the things that are now being exposed. And it's not just this. It's everything across the board. It's been a denialist style of education to deny everything and don't allow anything in that doesn't fit the established criteria. I'm going to leave it at that. Now that's my last word. I love you all. Goodbye.